Hey guys, hopefully everyone is doing well. Today's target is to solve question number 9.6. The chapter which we are related with is labor costing, where we usually calculate wages in different ways. As it's question number 9.6, we have already solved 5 questions, and it means we know that there is no performer, there is no table, there are no lines which would be adopted. Each question is different. For every question, you will have to create your own way to solve the question. So please try to understand it. This question is also different. To understand this chapter, you will have to prepare your mind for every question separately. And collectively afterwards, you will be having a complete data. Now here, the volume of question or appearance of question is in front of you. Look, there are few lines written over here, but answers you can check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 answer we need to calculate. There are three methods A, B and C with which we will calculate the labor cost of single worker. Normal output of an operator, it means there is only one worker and his standard has been set 800 units per hour. On a certain day of 8 hours, operator produce 8000 units. So here some standards we will set with the first line operator 800 units per hour. So we can set our standard over here. Something was written at before for the previous questions. So let's do it again. Normal output of an operator 800 units per hour. So what we have units, and it has been described time. 800 pieces are said to be made in how much time? Per hour, in 1 hour. So next calculation would be they have worked for 8 hours. So how many units would be made in 8 hours? This would be our question. Now please listen, 800 pieces are made in 1 hour. How many number of units would be made in 8 hours? Simple calculation, we will cross multiply. 8 would be multiplied with 1. So we have x on left side. On right side, what would happen? 800 would be multiplied with 8. 800 multiplied by 8. So we have got 600 pieces. These are number of pieces in pieces per day. We have calculated as 8 hours a single day. So 600 pieces per day is our first standard which we have set, and now we will see what next we can do. Per hour should be present over here. Employees total earning for the day, labor cost per hour. If there are two elements which are involved in the requirement, total earning for a day and per hour wage rate. Okay, so if production is paid for a flat piece rate on 0.02, nothing else is given. So first calculation, first part we will be solving, and that is for straight piece rate. As you know, under piece rate method, what we do, we just calculate how many pieces somebody had made, and per piece rate would be applied. Simple as this. Somebody have made pieces, we will apply per piece, with we will get the amount of wage. So worker had produced here, operator produced 800 units. We can put 8000 units and it would be multiplied by per piece. It is mentioned in the requirement. Production is paid flat piece rate 0.02 per unit. Rate is also described 0.02. Statement is completed. Now we can calculate 8000 number of units multiplied by 0.02. So we have got our first answer, which is point, which is 160. So here you have got 160. First answer is matched, and second requirement is to calculate per hour wage. How would we calculate? Wages earned would be divided by 8 to calculate total hours present in a day, 8 hours. Total wages calculated here is 160. So direct formula is here, per hour wage rate you will divide by 8. You can do it, or let me demonstrate it how. Wages per day, and it would be compared with hours. So total hours were, wage per day they are receiving is this, which we have calculated for total day, as he had produced 8,000 units. So 160 total wage rate. How many hours he had used? 8. So we need to know how much amount he will be receiving for single hour. In this way, you will cross multiply. X would be multiplied with 8. You will get 8x. And what would be present on right side? 160 would be multiplied by 1. We will get 160. And now 8, we want to take it to the opposite side. So 160 divided by 8, because 8 is being multiplied over here. When you will take it to the opposite side, it would be divided. So same formula I have written over here, but demonstrated as well at this stage. In this way, per piece rate we have calculated, and per hour wage is also calculated. This is what wages per hour. Alright, both answers we have seen and calculated, and we can match them as well. For first part there were two answers, 160 and 20, and what we have calculated, 160 and 20. This is what wages, this is we have calculated total wages. Alright, so first part is ended. We can mark it as completed part, and we will further go to our next journey to calculate second part. Alright, so here we are doing our second part. Let's see what second part is being said. Okay, B part is saying Halsey premium. So first time a new phenomena has been introduced, Halsey premium plan. I will let you know its formula. So you will not have to use your brain. Direct formula would be calculated. Now wages according to Halsey premium plan. Halsey was an economist. He had introduced this method. So formula would be presented over here. First part of this question would be T multiplied by R. I will explain you later on what T and what R. Then you will add. Big bracket would be started, and here you will be writing 1 over 2. This is fixed. And again small bracket will start. S minus T would be written. Close the bracket and multiplied with small r rate per hour. Finally, you will close the bracket. So this is how you will calculate your wages. And now we will explain what these factors are. Time taken would be T, and next is rate per hour. It would be R, small r, and then we have standard time, it would be considered as S. Everything is completed. SRT were the factors which are present over here, and we have written everything STR. So it's time to see how much time this worker has taken. As you know, it was described 8 hours shift he had completed. 8 hours, working day of 8 hours. Next, we will see rate per hour, which is also mentioned in requirement. Halsey premium plan 16 is the normal rate. So rate is also described, and this is 16. Standard time, this would be calculated. For that we will go back. The standard output is given over here, 800 units per hour. So comparison of units and time. 800 pieces are said to be made in how much time? Per hour. In 1 hour, and we need to know how many units he have made? 8,000. So how much time was needed to manufacture 8,000 pieces? This is our requirement. Why we are calculating? To calculate that standard time of its production. Since standard was given 800 pieces are made in 1 hour, how much time would be taken to produce 800 pieces? Again, simple calculation, cross multiply. Here first step is x would be multiplied by 800. So 800x at left side. What would be on right side? 8,000 pieces would be multiplied with 1. So we will get 8,000. Now finally we can calculate it. 800 is being multiplied over here, and we will take 800 to the opposite side, sign would be changed. 8,000 is already present on right side. When you will take 800 to the opposite side, it would be divided. In this way statement has been completed. Now we can calculate 8,000 divided by 800. So 10 we have our conclusive answer, and what it is. Look here, 800 pieces were made in 1 hour. How many hours would be taken to produce 8,000? So we have calculated hours, total standard hours you can call it. These are standard hours for production. And this is what we needed. So we have also calculated our standard time, which is 10. So everything for input, every input is now ready, and we can put it in our formula. First thing first, what you will do, you will open small bracket, and there you need to write time taken. Time taken was 8, put 8. Then you need to multiply, put sign of multiply. Small r, rate per hour was 16, put over here. Close your small bracket and then add, open big bracket, and then what you will do, 1 divided by 2 is fixed, you don't have to change it, open small bracket, and then standard time is 10, and you need to subtract what? Time taken was 8, close your bracket, and then you need to multiply with what? Small r is 16, and after this you will close your bracket. So our statement has been completed. We will now be putting it on our calculator. So please make your mind, these time taken was given in the book, rate per hour was given in the book, standard time we have calculated like this. In this way you can calculate any missing figure in any question. We are using very basic method where you don't need to use your brain. Simple unitary method would be used to calculate every amount which is needed. Statement has been completed. Let's put it on calculator at once. Small bracket, 8 would be multiplied by 16, bracket would be closed, and then you need to add open big bracket 1 divided by 2, again open your small bracket. 10 minus 2 is 2, we can directly write 10 minus 8 is equal to 2 multiplied by 16. So I am writing directly 2 multiplied by 16, and then you will close your small bracket as well as big bracket. Now keep understanding, keep your mind focused over here. 8 multiplied by 16, then half. 10 minus 8, 2. 2 is required to be multiplied by 16, so you have put your formula. In this way, you have got your answer, but some brackets are missing. Let me see if they are. And here you can multiply as well. No, something is missing. 8. No, there is nothing missing. We can calculate it separately if it is not working. Sometimes Excel do not cooperate in a way we do want. 2 multiplied by 16. What error? The formula, if you do not wish to use, insert a single thread. Okay, unfortunately it is not working right now. 2. There were some brackets. Okay, unfortunately it is not working. So what we will do, we will calculate separately. First part is 8 multiplied by 16. You will calculate 8 multiplied by 16. We have got answer 128, and then we need to add 1 over 2. Look over here, 10 minus 8, 2. 2 would be multiplied by 16, 32. 32 divided by 2 would be 16. And we need to add both items. That means 1 to 8 and add 16. So in this way you have calculated your answer. Let's check it out. So second answer is 144. And since it was asked to calculate per hour as well, how many hours worker had worked? How many hours worker had worked? You can calculate both per hour rates as well. And here I think you have calculated 20. In the similar way you will calculate per hour as well over here. I'm quite surprised it should be calculated on Excel as well, but it was not cooperating. So first answer we have calculated is 144. Total wages per day. After which we will calculate per hour wages as well as it was required in your question. For that, per hour wages we will calculate amount would be written over here and hours would be mentioned over here. This amount 144 has been taken after working. How much time taken? 8 hours. So 8 hours has been taken to get these are rupees or amount. So now we need to know how much amount he will take for 1 hour. Question mark would be put over here. Now let's calculate. Please understand, for 8 hours he is receiving 144, which we have calculated over here. For 1 hour, how much amount would be calculated? Cross multiplication, 8 would be multiplied with x. So we will get 8x, and on right side what would happen? 144 would be multiplied by 1s. We will get 144. Next step is what? 8 is multiplied over here and we will take it to the opposite side. At opposite side 144 is already present. 8 is being multiplied. When you will take it to the opposite side, it would be divided. Statement is completed. Now let's calculate 144 divided by 8. We have got per hour wage rate as 18. This was our second requirement which has been completed. What it is? Wages per hour. This is what was required and we have calculated. Let's check the answer. Second, you can see for second part 144 and 18 is your answer. For second 144, first answer we have calculated, and second answer 18. It means our second part is also completed. We can mark it as we have done. Now we will see what is required in third part of the question. Let's go back to the question. This is your C part. Straight time rate 16 per hour with a bonus of 2 for 100 for each 100 unit produced in excess of normal output. So time rate method is easy. How many hours somebody had worked and it would be multiplied by per hour. Straight time rate method is described. So time rate, we have already discussed how many hours worked and it would be multiplied by per hour. Let's don't prominent these formulas. Few elements were hidden. So time rate method is how many hours worked. We have already discussed that this worker had worked for 8 hours a day. Hours we do know 8 and we need to multiply it with per hour rate. Per hour rate was described in your question. Here you can see C part, straight time rate 16 per hour. So you will be putting per hour as 16. Statement completed. Let's calculate 8 multiplied by 16. This is his normal salary. Let's see what else it has been said. 2 rupees would be paid for each 100 unit produced in excess. How many units are produced? As you know, unit produced by worker is 8,000. From here, we will calculate how many units are in extra. As you can see that standard production was calculated over here. In previous part of the question, we have already calculated standard production. In first part, you can see even we haven't started our first part, but we have calculated pieces per day. Standard, how it, just reminding you, 800 units were asked to made in 1 hour. The worker had worked for 8 hours, so he was liable and responsible to make 6400 pieces per day. This was the standard, and now we will see standard production, which was calculated earlier, and numbers were 6400. This was our standard production. Go back to the question and see why we are calculating it. 2 rupees would be paid for each 100 unit produced in excess. How many excess number of unit this worker had produced? Excess production. Look, keep it in mind, 6400 was standard production. That means we were expecting him to produce 6400 while he had produced 8000 number of units. So how many extra units he have produced? For this, what we will do, 8000 would be subtracted, 6400 would be subtracted from 8000, with which we will be able to calculate extra unit. Now put it on your calculator, 8000 minus 6400. So this way you have calculated your excess production, 1600. Alright, now go back again in the question and see what was the requirement. 2 rupees would be paid for each 100 unit produced. Again we will use unitary method. Units produced, it would be compared with amount. It has been said if 200 pieces are made, let me see again, it was 200, no, 100 units produced, 2 rupees would be given. So here 100 pieces would be made and 2 rupees would be given. Now we need to know how many extra unit had produced. 1600. For 1600 pieces, how much amount would be paid? This is our question. Now look at here. Unit produced given in the question 8064 under standard production. We have calculated how many number of units should be produced in 8 hours. So the very first step which we have calculated at start of the question was 6400. Extra unit produced 1600. Now we want to know if 100 pieces extra made by the worker, 2 rupees would be paid. So how much amount would be paid for 1600 extra units? So here don't use your brain. We will be calculating according to cross multiply. 100 multiplied by x, we will get 100 x, and what would be present on right side? Cross multiplication. 1600 would be multiplied with 2. All right, and now 1600 multiplied by 2, we will get 3200. Next step is what? X and 100 are being multiplied over here. You want to take 100 to the opposite side. Right now 100 is being multiplied with x, and if you will take 100 to the opposite side, it would be divided. Already 3200 is present on right side. When you will take 100 to the opposite side, it would be divided, so 100 will come at denominator. Finally we can calculate it. 3200 divided by 100, so we have got 32 as extra payment. With simple unitary method we have calculated our amount. This is what? 32 extra payment. The method was described in the question. Let's go, and I'm going to show you again. For every 100 unit, each 100 unit produced, 2 rupees would be given. We have put over here and calculated the extra amount, which is 32. Normal wage was 128. So how we will calculate total wages of this worker? Normal wages, and you will add extra payment. Normal wages we have calculated as 128. It was given in the book, and you will add extra amount, extra payment 32. Statement is completed. Now put it on your calculator. 128 plus 32. So we have got our third answer 160. For third you can see 160, and again per hour is also needed. For that, what we will do, amount would be prepared with hours. Amount would be compared with hours. This amount 160, he had worked for 8 hours. Look over here. So first 160 rupees have been received for 8-hour working. We need to know how much amount would be received if the worker would work for 1 hour. Why we are doing it? Let's go back to the question, and you will see that in question it has been said that we need to calculate total earning and per hour as well. So for each part we have calculated per hour as well. Now again simple cross multiplication. X would be multiplied by 8, so we will get 8x on left side. On right side, cross multiplication, 1 would be multiplied with 160. Now finally what we will do, 160 is already present on right side, and this 8 is being multiplied with x. We want to take this 8 to the opposite side. Here it would be divided. Now let's calculate per hour wage. 160 divided by 8. So we have got 20 as per hour wage. So this was your second requirement in the question, which is completed, and this was your calculation. And here you have calculated total wages per day. Let's put it together. All parts I'm hopeful we have calculated. We will review that if there is anything else left in the question. Okay, this was your third part. In third part, two answers, 160 and 20. For third part, 160 and 20. It means our third part is also completed. We are marking it as it has been done. Alright. So there were three parts. Let's review. There were three parts. First part was having 160 and 20. This was your first part. 160 first answer. Let's make it prominent. And second answer was 20. This was wages per hour. So 160 and 20, and in answer you can see 160 and 20. For second answer, 144 and 18. This is your second part, and answers 144 and 18. 144 and 18. For third part, 160 20. For third part, 160 and 20. This is your third part. In this way we have reviewed all answers. It means everything is okay for 9.6. Hopefully you people have understood the phenomena. We have solved 9.6 and all answers are matched. Question is reviewed, solution is also reviewed. I'm very hopeful that you have understood each and everything and enjoyed this moment like I have enjoyed. But even if you have any query, any answer, any difficulty for understanding this question, you are very open to ask your queries and questions through messages, text, and you can directly meet as well. Our 9.6 has been completed. We'll be surely meeting for solution of any other question in future. Up till then, please take care of yourself, and I am requesting you to please pray for me as well. Thank you very much for your time. It's time to say goodbye. Allah